Hello and welcome to this week's Women's Football Chat. We're back on pre-recorded for the next couple of episodes as work commitments are preventing me from doing it live. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. bringing you the very latest from women's football, focusing on the third and fourth tiers. That's the FA Women's National League. Let's get straight down to it this week. We've got results and tables to look at as it's all getting a bit interesting. We're down to 2 horse races in some leagues. Some teams are on the verge of relegation. We'll get straight down to it with the results from the past week. We'll start in the Northern Premier Division. On Wednesday, Wolves 5, Stoke City 0. A brace for Amber Hughes, backed up by Beth Merrick, Jade Cross and Ellie Butler, giving Wolves a 5-0 victory over Stoke. Then on Thursday, Huddersfield Town, 2 late goals against Sheffield. 89th minute to Brittany Sanderson and 93rd minute to Rhea Montgomery gave them the 2-0 win. Sheffield so close to a point in that one. And then in difficult conditions, Nottingham Forest get a 1-0 win over West Bromwich Albion. A 70-minute goal to Jan Mitchell gave Forest the 3 points that they needed to stay in the title race in the Northern Premier Division. Through to the weekend, and a big result there. Burnley 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Wolves getting their first league loss of the year. Burnley unfortunately don't have the lineup on the FA Women's National League website yet, but Wolves get a defeat in one of their games in hand over some of those teams around them. And that has pulled them back slightly in the race. I still think it's theirs to lose, but it is getting a bit more interesting now. Sheffield against Fylde was postponed because of Fylde being in cup action, county cup action. So we'll go to Stoke against Middlesbrough. Goal for Stoke. They opened the scoring. 2nd minute to Manuela Dell to Stoke. Russin Kivell getting their second goal of the game, 43rd minute. But 2 goals for Ellie Dobson, Armani Maxwell, 1 for Imogen Longcake, and then a other goal for doesn't say for Middlesbrough. Gave them a 6-2 away victory. And then another big result for that title race. West Bromwich Albion 2, Derby County 0. Leah Dugmore and Evangeline Gallup getting the goals for West Brom, which means on a weekend where Forest weren't playing and Fylde weren't playing, Wolves and Derby both lose. What it means for the table, Wolves' win in midweek means they go back 3 points clear of Derby, but having played one of their games in hand now, they're now only 5 points clear of Fylde, who have played the same number of games as them, 6 points clear of Forest in 4th. And Huddersfield Town, they're 7 points back, but will probably not feel as though they're absolutely out of it at the moment. Down towards the bottom, Loughborough Lightning, 2 points clear of the relegation zone. That gap has narrowed somewhat after Middlesbrough got their victory at the weekend over Stoke. Hull City at the bottom, they're now 12 points from safety, but they still have a possible 24 to collect. So it's starting to get a bit interesting at the Northern Premier Division. It's the Tier 3 leagues that are sort of further back in terms of percentage of the season complete, as we'll see as we go forward and further through this week's show. Southern Premier Division, we had some midweek games as well. Obviously, some of these midweek games I covered last week when I did the live show on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, though, Chichester and Chelsea against Portsmouth was postponed. London Bees 1, MK Dons 1. London Bees opening the scoring on the 27th minute. Joe Wilson making it 1-0. Sherelle Albert, though, the substitute for MK Dons, getting a late goal to get a point for MK Dons. Then on Thursday, Bridgewater United 2-0 winners away at Keynsham Town. Goal in that one coming to Sydney Hinchcliffe in the 45th minute, right before half-time. No information about that other goal, though. Into the weekend, then. Bridgewater United 0, Ipswich Town 1, a narrow victory for Ipswich Town. Anna Gray getting the only goal of the game in that one. Goalless between Gillingham and MK Dons. So we'll move to Hounslow against Plymouth Argyle. A 2-0 victory for Plymouth. Gemma Rose in the 25th minute. Natasha Knapman just before the hour mark. And also 0-0 between Portsmouth and Cardiff City. Plenty of draws then in the Southern Premier Division. What it does for the table, Ipswich Town with their win over Bridgwater United go back top by 2 points with 7 games to go. Southampton again didn't play. They were in cup semi-final action, as we'll get to in a moment. They've now got 6 games in hand on Ipswich Town. They're 12 points back. So 4 games back, but they've got 6 in hand. You need to play some of those games. They're only halfway through their season. We're in March, and Southampton are only halfway through their season. Towards the bottom, MK Dons, they got points as we've established, but they lose a place to Plymouth Argyle, who got that victory. Plymouth Argyle now 1 point clear of the relegation zone. Hounslow at the bottom there, they've got 10 games to play. They're 6 games away from safety. Division 1 North then, Bradford City 5, Alnwick Town 1. Bradford City with a convincing victory in this one. 2 goals to Katie Woodcock, 12th and 21st minute. Charlotte Stewart, 34th minute. Sophie Hawkins in the 69th minute. And another goal that is not on the system for Bradford City. Alnwick Town had taken the lead in that game. 5th minute opener to Lucy Bowman. But then Bradford turned on the style a bit and ran out convincing 5-1 winners. Chorley 1, Barnsley 2. No information about Chorley at all. And no information about the scorers for Barnsley. But they run out 2-1 winners. FC United Manchester 0, Durham Sestra 5. Doesn't have any details on that game either. Newcastle United 6, Leeds United 2. This venue was switched because of the state of the pitch. Leeds United haven't got their information up yet. Newcastle, though, a hat-trick for Casey Elson and goals for Katie Barker, Rebecca Ferguson and Georgina Spraggan gave them the 6-2 victory, which means no movement at all in the Division 1 North, but Newcastle United closed the gap to Liverpool Feds after Liverpool Feds in cup action. Leeds United are in 3rd place, but they are 15 points behind the leaders. They do have a game in hand, and there are still plenty of games to play in the Division 1 North, but it is starting to look as though it may well be a 2-horse race. Leeds will need to go on quite a run of form to pull this one back. Down towards the bottom, a win for Barnsley means that they are now only 5 points away from safety. And don't forget, they were deducted 3 points as well. So that looks as though it could be a crucial points deduction in terms of who goes down out of Division 1 North. Alnwick Town have still got 10 games to go. They're now 14 points back from Bradford City after Bradford City got that victory over Alnwick Town. Division 1 Midlands then, a convincing victory for the league leaders Boldmere St Michael's, a 7-0 win over Bideford United. Doncaster Rovers Bells 5, Leaford Athletic 1. Leek Town and Lincoln City share a 2-2 draw, and Solihull Moors beat Wem Town by 4-2. Boldmere St Michael's then, no information about that fixture up on the site yet. So Doncaster Rovers Bells 5, Leafield Athletic 1. A brace for Lauren Breen and Jasmine Saxton for Doncaster Rovers Bells, as well as a goal for Jessica Andrew, gave them their 5. Katie Johnson in the 11th minute opened the scoring for Leafield Athletic. Leek Town 2, Lincoln City 2. Scorers for Leek Town, Chantal Gallagher, 26th minute, and Molly Garner, 32nd minute. No information up yet about Lincoln City. And then Solihull Moors 4, Wem Town 2. 2 goals for Leah Sivright, 1 for Abby Jackson and 1 for Zoe Creaney for Solihull Moors. No information about Wem Town yet, though. Well, that means for the table, and there's only one change. Solihull Moors, with that victory, go above Leafield Athletic. And they move themselves into 8th spot in the league. But it's all the same at the top, with Boldmere St Michael's and Doncaster Rovers Bells both winning. 5 games to go in that one. in Division 1 Midlands, and Bournemouth St Michael's have a 1-game advantage. So interesting to see how that goes towards the end of the season. So we're going to start to look at the run-ins. What's going to be crucial, you look at Bournemouth St Michael's running. They've got Leafield Athletic, who are down near the bottom. They've got Sporting Cowser, who are in the bottom half. Wemtown, who are currently in the relegation zone. Lincoln City, who are third. And Leafield Athletic, who are also down near the relegation zone. You look at Doncaster Rovers Belzers running. They've got Burton Albion, who are in the relegation zone. Peterborough United, who are mid-table, not really with a lot to play for. Biddeford United, who are in the relegation zone. Long Eaton United, who are fourth at the moment. And Solihull Moors down near the bottom. So the run-in for these two sides are pretty similar. And Doncaster Rovers Bells need Bournemouth St Michael's to slip up. Lincoln City, they could drag themselves back into this race. They've got a game in hand that would put them on to 35 points were they to win the game in hand. Then they're only 6 points back. And given that they have to play Bournemouth St Michael's, as I've just mentioned, it could well be that they could bring themselves back into that title race as well. They've also got Wemtown, who are down near the bottom. In fact, they've got Wemtown twice, have Lincoln City. Leafield Athletic also down towards the bottom. Burton Albion down towards the bottom. So Lincoln City, don't count them out of this title race just yet. Division 1 South East then, all the midweek fixtures were postponed, so we'll go straight to the weekend. Stevenage 3, Kent Football United 0. Goals for Stevenage, 2 for Chloe Gunn and 1 for Jodie Southby to give Stevenage the 3-0 victory. It was the same scoreline for Actonians against London Seaward. Goals in that one, Mizuki Hirakuni in the 19th minute, Jenny Brereton in the 29th minute, and Maria Ledsma-Viso in the 55th minute, giving Actonians the 3-0 victory. A good away victory for Billericay Town, 6-0 away at Enfield Town. There's no information about the scorers as of yet, nor is there information about #United against Norwich City. Queen's Park Rangers, the 3-2 victory over Cambridge United, despite going down to 10 during that game. Brogan Moore with 2 goals, 19th minute to 55th minute. Joanna Blodgett, 91st minute, rounded off the scoring. Laura Baker and Ruth Fox getting the goals for Cambridge United. In the table, Actonians go above AFC Wimbledon then after their 3-0 victory over London Seaward. AFC Wimbledon were in plate semi-final action. But it's all the same at the top. #United still with that 4-point margin over Billericay Town. There's 1 game in hand for Billericay Town, but only 4 games to go. Actonians now can't catch #United. They've only got 3 games left. The best they can do is 46. The best Actonians can do is 3rd. AFC Wimbledon can get themselves into the title race. They have 4 games in hand over #United. That would put them on 48 points, level with Billericay Town currently. So they can get themselves back into the title race. But it is a big ask, particularly when you look at #United's 4 games to go. One of those is against AFC Wimbledon, which AFC Wimbledon are going to have to win. Elsewhere for #United, Harlow Town in the bottom 4, Stevenage in the bottom 4, Enfield Town bottom 5. Enfield Town just outside the relegation zone at the moment. That's #United's running. You would expect them to win at least 3 of those 4 games if you take out the Wimbledon game, and 3 wins out of those final 4 that #United have got to play take AFC Wimbledon out of the title race. The interesting thing with Division 1 South East is because of Billericay Town's games in hand and the way the fixtures are set, they have to play 2 games, Cambridge City at home, London Seaward away, after #United have finished their season. So if Billericay Town can stay within 6 points of #United come the 3rd of April when #United finish their season, they know a win both of those games will see them win Division 1 South East. So that title is definitely not over. Towards the bottom, it's so tight. Enfield Town, 17 points, safe at the moment. It's only a 3-point gap to Stevenage. Harlow Town and Norwich City have got a game in hand each. Norwich City, even winning that game in hand, won't see them come out of the relegation zone because of that vastly inferior goal difference. So it is going to go down to the wire with those teams, particularly, as I've just mentioned there with #United. A lot of those teams, Enfield, Harlow, Stevenage, they've got to play #United, but time is running out for them to start getting some points. Kent Football United could get another 21 and get themselves up to 26. But with 7 games to go, they're 4 games, realistically 5 wins away from safety. And it's really starting to run out of time for Kent Football United. Division 1 South West results. Bournemouth 6-1 winners over Maidenhead United. That's the only fixture in Division 1 South West from this week. Goals for Bournemouth, 2 for Abby Jones, 14th and 33rd minute. Lucy Cooper with 2, 24th and 51st minute. Hannah Francis with 1 in the 71st minute. And an opposition own goal in the 12th minute. Rounding off the scoring for Bournemouth. Maidenhead United haven't got their information up on the site yet. Division 1 South West table then. Bournemouth go back top, 2 points clear of Cheltenham Town, but Cheltenham Town have a game in hand. They could go back clear by a point. Cheshire United in third. They have 6 games to play. They're 11 points behind AFC Bournemouth now, but they have 2 games in hand on Bournemouth. So they could, it's a long shot, but they could get themselves into the race as well. Exeter City still only played 8 games. They've got 10 to play. With their 6 games in hand over Bournemouth, that's a possible 18 points. That would put them on 32, level with Cheltenham. So don't discount Exeter City yet if they can go on a run. But again, you look at the run-ins, there's 4 games to go. Bournemouth have got to play this weekend, and I'll come on to the fixture shortly. It's Bournemouth against Cheltenham this weekend. So that could be a crucial match in the Division 1 South West title race. Elsewhere, Bournemouth have got Portishead away, who are in mid-table. Cheshire United, so that could be a tough one for them as well. And Exeter, who are going to be looking to make a late season charge. So not the easiest of run-ins for Bournemouth. Cheltenham Town has spoke to them before Christmas. Now it was, they said, if we win all our games, because of that game we've got against Bournemouth, we'll win the title. They've got Portishead and Exeter as well, and Chesham. The only difference in the run-in then between those two sides is that extra game, that game in hand, which is the 24th of April, the Southampton women for Cheltenham, who are in 4th. So it's going to be a very tight Division 1 South West running, because all those top teams, those top 4 or 5 teams are all playing each other, and it could be one of those ones where it's right down to the wire to see who gets the title there. Towards the bottom, Poole Town didn't play this weekend. They are still 8 points away from safety with only 9 available to them, so it could be that it's going to run out of, they're just going to run out of time, but they are at home for the rest of the season. They've got Southampton women on the 16th of March. Larkhall Athletic are playing this weekend against Chesham, and a point for Larkhall Athletic you feel would be enough to relegate Poole Town because of that vastly inferior goal difference that Poole Town have. That's all the league fixtures. Let's have a look at the cup quickly. FAWNL Cup semi-final, Southampton 2, Crawley Wasps 0, Liverpool Feds 0, Huddersfield Town 1. Great effort from Liverpool Feds to almost get to the final of the FAWNL Cup. Southampton goals for Katie Rood and Alicia Ware, 54th and 75th minute respectively, has put them in the final. A goal in the 46th minute, Katie Stanley, right after half-time, is enough to send Huddersfield Town to the final, where they will face Southampton. Date and location to be announced in due course. In the plate, it's Cheltenham Town 0, Nottingham Forest 3, and Sporting Cowser 1, AFC Wimbledon 4. Goals for Forest, one for Jana Mitchell in the 26th minute, and a brace for Charlotte Greengrass, 36th and 58th minute, puts Forest into the plate final, where they will face AFC Wimbledon, who won by 4-1 against Sporting Cows, but have been told, well, there is no information on that one. Again, date and venue to be announced, although I've been told it's being played somewhere in the Midlands. Right, let's have a look then at the fixtures, and I'll just get the tables up on my second screen as well, so we can have a look at some of these crucial ones coming up, because as we know, there are ones, I've touched on them already. Northern Premier Division, Brighouse Town against AFC Fylde, that's 7th against 3rd. Fylde looking to get back into league action and keep the pressure on Wolves at the top. Derby County against Huddersfield Town, 2nd against 5th, another top of the table. You know, top kind of 5 teams all vying for that title. It's going to be a crucial fixture there for Derby. Middlesbrough against Sheffield, that's an important one towards the bottom. It's 11th against 12th. Middlesbrough could get themselves out of the relegation zone, provided that Loughborough Lightning lose to table-topping Wolves. That's that fixture down at the bottom. Nottingham Forest against Stoke, 4th against 9th. Forest need a win to keep the pressure on. West Bromwich Albion against Hull City is 8th against 13th. And Hull City, if things don't go their way, could find themselves all but relegated this weekend. Southern Premier Division, we've got one game tomorrow. Oxford United against Southampton, 2nd against 3rd. That's going to be a crucial one as well. Should Oxford United win that game, they'll go back to the top of the table, and Southampton will have lost one of those crucial games in hand that they're using to try and catch the top of the table. Cardiff City against Ipswich Town, 9th against 1st. Cardiff City 4 points at the moment clear of the relegation zone. Ipswich Town, of course, will be needing to keep the pressure on Oxford. Hounslow against Crawley Wasps. Hounslow down at the bottom, still yet to win a game this season. Crawley Wasps are in 7th. Hounslow 6 games back from safety with 10 games to go, so they're not relegated yet. Plymouth Argyle, the team they're trying to catch, and they've got Chichester and Chelsea, so it could prove to be a 21-point gap with 9 games to go next week. We'll have to see what happens on Sunday. London Bees against Portsmouth, that's 6th against 8th, 2 mid-table teams. Milton Keynes Dons against Oxford United, that's 11th against 2nd. Southampton against Bridgewater United, 3rd against 5th. A good top of the table area clash coming there. You feel it's going to be one of those top 3 teams, Ipswich, Oxford or Southampton. The rest of the teams are just too far back really to mount a challenge. And then, as I've already mentioned, Plymouth and Chichester and Chelsea, crucial game towards the bottom. Division 1 Midlands on Saturday, Doncaster Rovers Bells against Burton Albion. This is what I think is a great idea. Doncaster Rovers Bells playing after Doncaster Rovers men on the Saturday. So 2 games, same stadium, same day, I think is a brilliant idea. They're playing Burton Albion. It's 2nd against 11th. Doncaster Rovers Bells could go joint top of the table with Bournemouth St Michael's, but they will have played a game more come Saturday night. Bournemouth St Michael's are then playing Leafield Athletic on Sunday. The top of the table at the moment, Bournemouth St Michael's, Leafield Athletic in 9th. Wem Town against Lincoln City is 3rd against 10th. Peterborough United against Leek Town is 5th against 6th. 2 mid-table teams there. Not really in any danger of the bottom 3 and nowhere near getting to the top. And Solihull Moors against Biddeford United, 8th against 12th. Biddeford United, as I said, 11 points away from safety. They've got 5 games to go. Should they lose this weekend and Leafield Athletic somehow beat Bournemouth St Michael's, I think it's safe to say Bournemouth St Michael's are the favourite for that one. But a point for Leafield Athletic would see Biddeford United 12 points away from safety with 12 points on offer. And given that Leafield Athletic have a goal difference of 0 and Biddeford United have a goal difference of -50, that would see Biddeford United all but down. Division 1 North then. Barnsley against Chorley, Durham Sestra against Leeds United. So Barnsley against Chorley, that's 11th versus 7th. Barnsley desperately looking for a win. Don't forget they had 3 points deducted from them, and that sees them in the relegation zone at the moment. They would still be there anyway, but they're further adrift than they otherwise would be. Durham Sestra against Leeds United, 3rd versus 4th. Both of those teams, as I said earlier, I think it's a bit too late to mount a title challenge. It's between Liverpool and Newcastle, really. Even though there are plenty of games to go, I think they're just too far back now. I mean, Liverpool Feds on 39 points, Newcastle on 37, Leeds in 3rd on 24. I think it's too much of a gap. Liverpool Feds against Alnwick Town, 1st against 12th. So Liverpool Feds, you would say, favourite for that one as well. Newcastle United against Norton Stockton Ancients is 2nd against 5th. Newcastle United will be needing a victory to keep the pressure on Liverpool. And Stockport County against Bradford City is 6th against 9th. Bradford 4 points clear of the relegation zone at the moment. They've got games in hand on those around them as well. They'll be looking to increase that gap as much as possible. Division 1 South East, it gets very interesting here, as we've been mentioning when we looked at the results. But tomorrow, #United against Harlow Town, they could see themselves go 7 points clear of Billericay Town, but they'll have played 2 games more. Harlow Town in 10th at the moment, 1 point away from safety. This is their game in hand over Enfield Town as well. So they will be looking. A win will see them out of the relegation zone. A point won't, because of their goal difference. AFC Wimbledon against Enfield Town. That's 4th against 9th. This is back to the weekend now. Billericay Town against Actonians, 2nd against 3rd. Billericay Town, you feel if they lose that game to Actonians, that might see them too far back from #United if #United win tomorrow. Cambridge City and Kent Football United, that's 8th against 13th. Kent Football United desperately needing another win. They've only got 1 so far this season. They're 12 points away from safety. They've got 7 games left to play. Queen's Park Rangers against Harlow Town, 5th against 10th. And Stevenage against Norwich City is a relegation 6-pointer. Both sides 3 points away from safety, and they are playing each other. They're in 11th and 12th at the moment. Finally then, Division 1 South West on Wednesday. So tomorrow, Exeter City against Portishead. It's a mid-table clash, but Exeter City, as I've said, have so many games in hand. They need to go on a run, and they can lift themselves up the table. Cheltenham Town against AFC Bournemouth. That's that crucial game that we spoke about earlier, and it's being played at Cheltenham. Chesham United against Larkhall Athletic, 3rd against 9th. Maidenhead United against Exeter City, that's 5th against 7th. And Portishead against Southampton Women is 6th against 4th. So a couple of mid-table games in there. There are crucial fixtures there. It's those that second and third one on that list. Cheltenham against Bournemouth could be crucial in deciding the title. And Chesham United against Larkhall Athletic. A win for Larkhall Athletic, or even a point for Larkhall Athletic, would pretty much see Poole Town down. A win would. A point means that Poole Town would have to win their final 3 games. They've not won a game in the league yet this season. They'd have to win the final 3 games and overturn a 39 goal deficit in the goal difference. So it would see see Poole Town all but down. And that will do it for this week's Women's Football Chat. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. to bring you all of the very latest from the 3rd and 4th tiers. We might see our first relegations, and those title challenges are going to be opened up and get a little bit more exciting as we head towards the final month, really, of the regular season. There's so much to offer. Make sure you comment down below your teams you're supporting and who you think is going to win all of the titles. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss a show. I'll be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. But until then, keep supporting your local women's football team, and goodbye.